Keanu Reeves has carried decades of pain in silence, losing his father, his daughter, and the love of his life. But now, at 60, he's finally breaking that silence. And what he just revealed? It's shocking. For the first time ever, Keanu admits who he truly hated the most. And it's not who you think. A name the world respects. A betrayal hidden for years. This isn't just a confession. It's a turning point. Watch till the end, because the truth he shares will change how you see the Matrix, his life, and maybe even your own. Can you guess who it is? Keanu Reeves wasn't born into Hollywood. He was born into chaos. On September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, he entered a world already unraveling. His father, Samuel Reeves, a Hawaiian-Chinese geologist, abandoned the family when Keanu was just 3. From there, life became a constant state of movement. Beirut to Sydney, to New York, and finally, Toronto. 4 countries before he turned 10. No roots, no stability. In school, Keanu struggled with undiagnosed dyslexia. Teachers called him lazy. He moved between 4 different high schools and eventually dropped out at 17. But that exit opened a door. In failure, he found passion. Acting. His mother, Patricia Taylor, remarried multiple times. Each stepfather brought hope, but never permanence. One, director Paul Aaron, introduced him to theater. But just like the others, he left. The lesson Keanu learned early was simple. Never rely on anyone. Trust yourself, or trust no one. By the time he was 20, Keanu was hustling hard. He was a correspondent for CBC, auditioning under the name Casey Reeves because agents said his real name was too ethnic. But in 1987, he took his name back, and soon after landed his first film role in River's Edge, a dark drama based on a real-life murder. The quiet intensity he brought to that role would become his signature. Then came a surprise hit, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in 1989. He played Ted, a goofy, kind-hearted slacker who stumbled through time. It was supposed to be silly, but Keanu played it with such sincerity that people loved him for it. He wasn't trying to be cool. He was just real. And audiences connected with that. Even after Bill and Ted, he didn't settle. He took on serious roles in films like Dangerous Liaisons, acting alongside Glenn Close and John Malkovich, and Parenthood, directed by Ron Howard. Critics started to notice Keanu Reeves had range. In 1991, Point Break introduced the world to Johnny Utah, an undercover FBI agent who finds himself strangely drawn to a gang of surfer bank robbers. Beneath the adrenaline, critics saw something deeper, a strange emotional tension between Keanu and co-star Patrick Swayze. It was raw, it was intense, and people couldn't look away. That same year, he starred with River Phoenix in My Own Private Idaho, playing a wealthy drifter navigating the streets with a homeless friend. That film would become a cult classic, and his bond with Phoenix was real. So real, in fact, that Keanu once rode his motorcycle 1,300 miles just to convince Phoenix to take the role. But tragedy wasn't far behind. On Halloween night, 1993, River Phoenix collapsed and died of a drug overdose outside the Viper Room. He was only 23. Keanu was filming Speed when it happened. Sandra Bullock later said, "You could see it in his eyes." The sadness never left. In 1998, he met Jennifer Syme, a production assistant for David Lynch. They fell fast. Within a year, she was pregnant. But on Christmas Eve, 1999, their daughter, Ava Archer Syme Reeves, was stillborn at 8 months. The relationship strained, but they remained close. Then, in April 2001, just after having brunch with Keanu, Jennifer died in a car crash. She was only 28. By the time The Matrix came along, Keanu Reeves had already lost more than most people endure in a lifetime. When the Wachowskis handed him the script, he didn't fully understand it, but he felt it. It wasn't just science fiction. It was something deeper, a warning. Most actors passed on the project, Will Smith, Nicolas Cage, even Sandra Bullock. But Keanu said yes, and threw himself into it. Months of martial arts, wire work, philosophy sessions. When the budget ran low, he gave up part of his salary to keep the crew paid, because that's who he was. And when The Matrix finally hit theaters in 1999, it exploded. Bullet time, black leather, philosophy. But beneath it all was a message. What if your reality isn't real? What if your life is just programming? What fans didn't know, what studios didn't want them to know, was that the original story was darker. In early drafts, even Zion, the so-called real world, was another simulation, another cage, a controlled rebellion designed to give people the illusion of choice. But that idea, it was buried. Too risky, the executives said, too confusing. So they gave us a hero, a love story, a savior. But Keanu never forgot the truth, and for decades, he kept it hidden. Then, in 2024, during an interview with Stephen Colbert, Keanu Reeves finally let it slip. When asked what the film meant to him 25 years later, he paused and said quietly, "It changed my life. And I think it changed how people see the world." After the show, close friends say he spoke more openly than ever before. "They made me hide this," he admitted. "There were scenes where Neo finds out that even the real world isn't real, but the studio cut them. They didn't want people asking if their life was a simulation. They just wanted to sell tickets." And that wasn't the only betrayal. In 2000, Keanu Reeves found himself locked into a film he never agreed to, The Watcher. His signature had been forged by someone close to him, someone he trusted. Legally, he couldn't escape it. So he did the film, reluctantly. It bombed. Critics destroyed it. And Keanu walked away from the experience permanently changed. He became more private, more guarded. He stopped chasing big franchises. Instead, he went to Winnipeg to perform Hamlet on stage for a tiny paycheck. He acted for the love of it, not the fame. Then came John Wick in 2014, a film no one expected to succeed. Small budget, no major marketing, but it exploded. The quiet, deadly assassin role fit Keanu perfectly. And suddenly, the world remembered what made him special. In 2022, actor Matthew Perry publicly insulted Keanu, questioning why he was still alive, while brilliant actors like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger were gone. The internet erupted in defense of Keanu. He never responded. He didn't need to, because that's always been his way. Quiet strength. In The Matrix Resurrections, Lana Wachowski returned without her sister. She had just lost both parents and a friend. The film was her way of grieving. Keanu said yes, not to revive a franchise, but to find closure. Keanu Reeves has finally revealed the truth. The Matrix was never just a film. It was a reflection of the world we live in, a quiet warning wrapped in science fiction. Now that the message is clear, the question isn't about Neo anymore. It's about you. Are you ready to wake up? Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.